Getting ready for another session. Doing it a little different today. The Get Events Online live stream. Today we ask that question, are live events back here in Australia? What do we need to do to bring them back? What are the questions we need to ask? What are the considerations? That's what we're covering today. Live events mean no more dressing to the desk. Here we go. Are you ready to rock and or roll? The countdown. Oh, and welcome to Get Events Online. Today we're talking about live events. Here in Australia, are they back? Are we ready for them? On Sunday, I was at a live event. There were 7,000, that's a lot, 7,000 of us in the crowd. And it was a music festival. What does that mean for our corporate events? Private events, people are having parties. You can have up to 30 people in your home here in Victoria. But what is happening? Hey, everybody, I am Warwick Merry, CSP CVP, coming at you live from the studio, aka Spare Bedroom. And if you want any further information about me, why not head up to the website? And that's where all the detail is, where it all hangs out. Today, I want to talk about live events. Are they back? Are we doing it? What is happening? Well, what's happening is this. Business confidence is not high enough yet. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. The challenge is borders are closing like that. They're just left, right, and center. You can close a state border straight away, and that really stuffs your event right up. So how do we deal with it? I personally believe that as part of your event planning process, you really have to consider what's going to happen should a state close within 12 hours, which has happened. So you need to be able to flick to an online element somehow. I know a couple of my contacts, we're talking about international events here, so they've gone for a hybrid mode, and they're actually pushing a lot to go to completely online because hybrid is so hard. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Hybrid events really are the amalgamation, and they're Frankenstein's monster. You get the worst of both worlds, trying to shove together, trying to make it work. And there's a few events that I'm part of that we're struggling at the moment to make something worthwhile for the delegate. And I think that has to remain the focus for our corporate events we're putting together. How do we make sure that they are still worthwhile for the delegate? So you must have some kind of contingency plan or risk management process to really bring back and get into how do we continue this if we have physical lockdowns. And it may be something as simple as, well, quite easily we can use Zoom, Teams, whatever, to bring the speaker in. And so if the speaker is interstate, then we'll continue on as it is. Or do we just look at, actually, let's just run it online just to be safe and make sure we focus our whole attention on that. There are a lot of benefits for being online. I know people are crying out for face-to-face events. It's funny, in my world, I speak to people and we talk about events and they're like, oh, just can't wait for face-to-face. And it's like, I get that, but there is so much that's really good about online events that you will lose. So I think there are benefits of both worlds. So you've got to look at how do we create an event, and they're very, very different. Your presentation cannot be the same face-to-face as it is online, because just head-on-stick PowerPoint slide online, not as good. So you need to take a few things into account as you do your planning stages. So Are events back? No, not really. Not face-to-face. We're starting on the Brisbane Convention Centre. It said in February they had, I think it was like 23 events. So they are starting to have some expos, etc. But they really are a state-based event. So they really are looking at what's happening in the state. And you need to make sure you have that contingency. We had that in Melbourne, a 5 days quick lockdown, and it made some differences. But, I think there are a lot of changes they're making. I was at the Somersault Music Festival on Sunday, and we had our COVID marshals, I think they're called. So they had their 1.5 metre pool noodle walking around to make sure that people were not more than 1.5, were not as close as 1.5 metres. You could not leave the chair except to go to the toilet, get first aid, or buy food and beverages. You could dance in front of your own chair, so no mosh pits. So they did what they could. The challenge there, of course, is the alcohol. After a few beverages, all of a sudden, people's care about COVID seem to dissipate. The same with corporate events. If you've got networking functions or if you've got celebrations, add a little bit of alcohol and people's they just relax a little bit, and so they might not be as prepared to do what they need to do to be COVID safe. We're on track, though. I do believe, their face-to-face events will come back. And I think we've really seen such some really great benefits to those the online events. So I don't think people are going to rush back because the online is a really great alternative. So if you're looking at ways that you can do an online event that still gets that kind of engagement that a face-to-face event has, reach out. I'm happy to have conversations, give you some case studies, talk about how you can do it, just to give you some ideas about what you're trying to achieve. I think personally, and it's not based in science, it's just based on what seems to be happening. I really think you're looking at least 6 to 12 months before you'll get something back. And even then, I don't think you'll be looking at huge numbers at your face-to-face events, purely because of the risk management. It will add an element of risk, but hey, who knows? We thought we had everything going well, but it sort of never really did it? All right. That's pretty much what I wanted to have a quick chat about today, just to let you know that live events are back in a limited form, and I think they'll be that smaller form, but still take advantage of so many of the benefits that are offered via the online and some of the hybrid stuff. If you want some ways that you can make your online events crack along even better, head over here. I've got a free 20-minute video with some different downloads, 7 keys to successful online presenting. So if you're after that kind of stuff, check it out. It's got some great value. I think it's awesome, but I've created it. All right. Hey, thank you for joining me. I'll be back here again next week, every 9 a.m. Melbourne time on a Thursday. Daylight savings is going to be weird in a few weeks. But I'll still be here, Melbourne time, 9 a.m. Reach out if I can be of any assistance, service, or otherwise to help you with your online events program, or even face-to-face, because they're starting to come back in a small way. All right. Hey, thanks for being here. You've been fantastic. I've been Warwick. Just hanging around a little. I've learned with the live streams, you've got to hang around a little bit at the end, otherwise it cuts off too quick. So I just wanted to hang here for a little bit, just you and me, tete-a-tete, for those who hang around.